Okay, let's see if we've got everything going here. Okay, yeah, man. Let's get where I need to be. Well, I'm not even subscribed to my own channel, so I gotta search my own channel. I feel like I'm not very good at this. And there we go. Well, I am subscribed, but being live for myself isn't showing up in my own in my own in my own app. Okay. Well, I'm not even subscribed to my own channel, so I got. All right. So I got my phone up because while I'm in the sim, I can't read chat. So yes, Jacob, I meant putting the stream up now. Okay. So not gonna try to set the world on fire here. Just doing a little bit of practice. And you can hear things dinging left and right. I'm getting the old paint team from BC Racing Designs is trying to get back together and paint up a car set. And I probably can't contribute. Not that not that I wouldn't like to. I just don't have time. And between the things I do for Extreme Motorsports and for my team, it's hard to find the time to sit in Photoshop and paint a bunch of stock cars, especially when I don't even drive stock cars anymore. So it's hard to justify that kind of time commitment now. And back when we were doing BC Racing Designs, let's be honest, a bunch of the guys that were on the team were young. They were kids. They were in college. They were in some of them were in high school. I personally was unemployed and in college, so I had a whole bunch of free time, and it's just tough. You'll hear those guys dinging my phone left and right. They're going crazy about paint schemes and stuff. They're all excited, and I'm excited for them, and I really, really wish I could contribute. One thing I want to go over here, I always like going over my dashes. I love SimHub. It's absolutely phenomenal. You guys can see it on the stream. There's an overlay, but I actually have a 5-inch Waveshare LCD DIY mounted to my Thrustmaster wheel, where I have that dash and I use it for everything. The stock in-car dash on the BMW and iRacing is really out of date. Doesn't give you a lot of good information. So this one is a creation from a guy named Ignacio. I found this on the Race Room forums. This is not an original creation by any stretch of the imagination. I have taken it and made it very iRacing centric. Tied in a lot of data that is specific to iRacing, and put in data preferences for things that matter to me in a race as I'm trying to as I'm trying to manage my race.
Fastest lap for Criteria, 204.15.
And so we'll see. I'll go over the dash a little bit. You can already see we have a predicted lap up there. The real life drivers use predicted laps to actually take care of their tires. They maintain certain pace. They keep from tearing their tires up. I got my fuel level, my running lap time.
Foley, 2:00.9.
Ooh, we got someone in here doing 2-minute flat. I will not do a 2-minute flat. I'll guarantee you that. I've got my session delta there, and the delta, actually I can cycle through the deltas. We have, of course, brake bias, how much fuel I'm using, how much fuel I have on board. On the left side of the screen above my rolling track position, which is a class position because I do a lot of multi-class racing. Up above that, we have the calculation of how many laps I can actually run on the current fuel I'm on. And below it is how much fuel I need to the end of a session. Now, of course, that's all based on SimHub having at least 3 or 4 laps worth of data to know how much fuel that I'm using. The lap data point right there, I've actually got set up specifically for if I'm in a team event like this is. It will tell me how many laps I've done on a stint instead of just telling me how many laps the car has done overall. In a regular race, it'll give me the standard lap count when I'm driving by myself. But in a team event, it's gonna tell me how long I've been in the car and give me my stint count, because that's data that's useful for me. So again, I didn't build this, but this dash is really cool, based on data information available in the iRacing forums. I have set my shift point at 8,400 RPMs. Eventually, I plan to upgrade to the Precision Sim Engineering DDU. And when I do, I'm going to set the LEDs very specifically per gear, as mentioned in the iRacing forums, where the BMW shift points should be. It does change per gear ratio, so it's going to take a little time to program. I'll put that in, but for now, since I don't have LEDs, 8,400 is a good average. So that's what I'm going with. So without further ado, we can talk about my dash all day, or we can see it in action. Get out here on the track. A lot of people participating in this session, so let's see what we've got. I've been running all week in the 202s. You can see that on my predicted lap. I probably won't manage that predicted lap time here. I'm not trying to fool anyone into thinking I'm the fastest driver on earth. I'm not. Woohoo! See, there we go. Oh! I'm surprised I didn't die right there. Like Ozzy Osbourne once sang, over the mountain. Here we go. Track conditions feel pretty slick compared to the last session I was in. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of let this guy go by because I'm not even warmed up. Get a couple laps under my belt before I try to hold anyone off. Yeah, she's slick today. Oh yeah, track is slick today. And, oh, I didn't load my setup. Okay. So that's the first thing you should always do when you're coming into an event like this and you're trying to practice or whatever it is you're trying to do. Load your freaking setup. That's problem number one. So I just noticed that the ABS is on 7, the traction control is on 6. It shouldn't be. It's no wonder the car wasn't driving in a way that I expect. So, yay! I'm dumb. You guys can go ahead and say it, that I'm dumb. Of course, you can say it all you want. I can't hear you. There's no comments on the chat. So anyone hoping to tell me I'm dumb would have to come in and comment on the chat. And we'll see. Jacob isn't even telling me I'm dumb. Maybe no one's watching. Maybe no one saw any of that and I'm all good. Okay.
Disengage limiter. Take care, there's a car approaching.
Car approaching. It's a Porsche. It's on Porsche! Yeah, this is something I haven't seen in practices in the last time I did Bathurst last year. Didn't see any Porsches. And now we got the new tire model out, and guess what we have now in practice? Porsches. So, got a feeling we may see Porsches in some of the other splits this year that we didn't see them in last year. Last year I was in the same split with Matt Malone and Jimmy Broadbent, and there was not a single Porsche in that split. And I think it was like split 4, so it was a pretty good split. And we had nothing. All right. Jacob's trying to message me there. I can't get to that message while I'm doing this, man. Come on. I can't text and drive. What's wrong with you, Jacob? Throw it in the YouTube chat, man. At least I can read that. A little too deep there in that turn. Oh yeah, this already feels so much better than that other setup. Golly, can't believe I came out here on baseline like a big old dum-dum. All right, now that we have a official lap for tracking, we got our lap time counting now. Beasley, fine. Those of you who may not be familiar with the team, Jacob Beasley's a new member. He's joined us in our MX-5 campaign in the Rick Motec Sports Car Series. Oh boy. That was almost death. God, look at these cars, man. These are sharp cars in front of me here. This people doing it right with the spec maps. Not everything you do with iRacing spec maps has to be chrome or stealth, people. It's okay to be subtle. It's okay to do brush steel. Okay? You don't have to be, a carbon fiber CIA car. You don't have to be a chrome nightmare that blinds everyone. Remember your fellow competitors when putting together your goofy spec maps, people. And for God's sake, quit painting on the blue channel. It does nothing. The blue channel is worthless. Stop. I've already seen people with spec maps and they did stuff with the blue channel. Drew Adamson has this big long video out and it's like, the blue channel is for nothing. Why are you doing it? I guess some people just like blue. Dabu-dee, dabu-da. Alright. This probably isn't going to be a great lap yet. Look at my predicted lap going up. Yeah, this lap's not going to be fantastic, but that's okay. We had to wait on some folks. Ooh, a little slippy slidey. This is the Craig setup shop setup. It is really, really good. It's got a little bit of rear wheel spin in the cutting and in the dipper. But if you're not too aggressive on the throttle,
bowling 200.8.
Woo, 2008. If you're not too aggressive on the throttle, in the dipper and in the cutting, you can manage that rear wheel spin pretty easily. All right. Just the slightest lift of the throttle through there. Yeah, I'm just not a 2-minute driver here. I don't know how they do it. Get a little hot, time to turn on ball fan 3000. That's much better. Oh crap. Push that a little wide.
Watch the track limits, please, Bobby.
Killed all that time, man.
Fastest lap for bowling 200.6 seconds.
Yeah, you're right about that, Jacob. Straight up balls to the wall, those 2-minute guys.
Delete this lap, you've cut the track.
I watched some onboard videos of the 2-minute guys, and it's like, holy cow, man! You're an inch away from death the whole time you're doing those 2-minute laps. It's nuts. I mean, I want to be fast. I'm trying, to put in good laps here, but I also want to not die because it's a 12-hour race. So I'm trying to manage these sections in ways that, I don't destroy the car. All right. Still in the 203s though. Feel like I had a pretty good run across the mountain there, but
the guy ahead's lap time is 203.89.
these crazy lap times.
Twenty minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left.
That had a little bit of wheel spin there. Picking up the throttle really early. Alright, I got a good one going if I can keep from ruining it.
That's your quickest
All right.
lap. You're currently 2.0 seconds off the leader's pace.
Ooh-hoo.
You've just done a 2:02.60.
2 seconds off the leader's pace. That's an accomplishment when you got these kind of laps going in, up to P11. I feel pretty good about that. Now I'm going to be a rolling chicane for a moment. So, see right there, I just changed my lap delta to last lap. Now I'm on my own best lap from the whole session. Go ahead on by, buddy. Go ahead on by. Now I'm on my optimal. So I got a button on my wheel that I can actually change my delta now, kind of like you do in iRacing when you're hitting the tab key. And it's all on my dash. I'm not having to drive with the crappy old BMW dash. This is still a great car. It's just, it's outdated. When you look at the dash and the controls, it's outdated. But then you get something like SimHub here, and you get a dash like this. And again, Ignacio, I can't remember your last name off the top of my head. This was a fantastic creation. I absolutely love it. Of course, I tweaked it. That's one of the great things about SimHub. You can take those dashes and tweak them to your liking. If it's a dash that was kind of built for Assetto Corsa, you can take it and tweak it for iRacing through all the raw data properties. Just really, really good stuff. Got my low fuel alarms, all that good stuff. The pit road, you saw the pit road warning when you get on the limiter. It tells you, of course, that you're on the limiter. And then warns you what pit road speed is when it comes up. Oh, we got somebody brave enough to do this in a Ferrari behind us. Okay.
Look out for the pit speed limit. Box in 880 feet.
See, there we go. Big pit limiter warning. Tells you 31 mile an hour.
Box in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Ooh, too far back. You're going so slow here that normally at tracks, when crew chief tells me box now, it's like time for me to get on the brakes right then. So I got on the brakes a little too early there. I'm going to have to practice that coming up for the weekend. But, you know, I'm not blowing anybody out of the water here. I'm not the fastest guy here. D2D Esports is coming to the mountain this weekend just to have a good time, get some more experience. And, yeah. So that's a good look at the dash there. Let's take a look at the car while we're here. Let's get a good look at the D2D Esports BMW for Bathurst.
New fastest lap for Foley, 2:00.5. Okay, Bobby, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
Just watch the car for a minute here. Beautiful livery. painted by yours truly. It started as our team paint from last year, from 2019. And then I took concepts from the Absolute Racing Porsche and said, let's merge it with what we've got and make something that is striking, but not, someone else's paint. And man, it came up really good. And the best thing about it is I originally started it with a solid color for the main body to try to emulate what we have here now that I was able to do because of the spec maps. That's like a brushed steel for the body that we wouldn't have been able to do really have it turn out that well before the spec maps. You can see how the color accents glow a little more. They have a much more reflection than the main body or even the black. The black is slightly matte. It's not a heavy matte, just a slight matte on the black areas, and that really lets the color area pop out. And because of the way we put the spec map together on this car, at night it looks almost completely black. So it's a really great paint. It was made possible by iRacing putting in the spec map feature. We couldn't have had this paint. And I'm sure there are a lot of teams out there that are just really, really thrilled for all the issues we have with iRacing. And, we gripe about this and we gripe about that, but they're also doing some really good stuff. So and there I am dropping to P20 right there. You see it in the windshield. And I think I'm going to come across the line here. Was it this lap or maybe the next lap? Yeah, there we go. I jumped up to P11. So that was my hot lap that we just watched, and here's where I'm starting to run my mouth. Yeah, there we go. Which I run my mouth a lot, but so anyway, that's that. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I've got going on personally for Bathurst. A little bit of the D2D Esports BMW Z4 for the Bathurst 12 hour. And yep, so I'm going to go ahead and kill this stream here. And the likelihood of us getting in a broadcast split is 0 to none. And just cross your fingers for us. I won't be streaming the event from inside the cockpit because I don't trust my internet service provider, and my youngest daughter will be home with me, and she'll want to be streaming stuff, and the quality would be absolute garbage. So anyway, guys, that's it. Have a good evening. Wish us